On this fifth Sunday of Lent, we pray that the journey we make towards your holy week might be pleasing in your sight, that we walk with humility and in ever mindfulness of your constant and abiding grace. In Christ's name, amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite Ken forward.
Good morning. Good morning. This is my fourth trip here in the last 6 years, and as the Executive Director of the Mission to Seafarers, I'm really pleased to talk to you about our work, because one of the things, and I'll be available after the service to discuss, is the potential for opening here and there. But what does the Mission to Seafarers do? First, let me tell you about Seafarers. In our world, it's mostly cargo ships, although we do provide a shuttle for cruise ship employees from Pier 91 downtown to the city center, and we transport about 15,000 seafarers every summer, and all of our drivers are volunteers. So that's 15,000 trips out, 15,000 trips back. It saves them probably a $20 each way cab or Uber ride. But for the merchant seafarers, they have a tougher time. First of all, merchant seafarers, and there are 1.6 million of them, and mostly they come from the Philippines, Russia, China, Indonesia, India, or Malaysia. In fact, a third from the Philippines, and another third from the last 5 countries I named. So those seafarers are away from their homes. Their contracts are 9 months to a year, typically. They're at sea 20 to 25 days a month. They're crossing 16 or 17 time zones in many cases, and they're alone and isolated. Typical crew would be 20 to 25 guys. They're almost always men. Only 3% of the seafarers that come to our port are women. They make up, a crew would have 7 or 8 different nationalities, the same number of faiths, or no faith at all, and several levels of personal hygiene in a building about the size of this one. It seems big for 25 guys until you surround it with 3,000 miles of water. It gets small pretty fast. So we talk about hunger and we talk about poverty in the context of physical things here in Seattle or in Everett or in Snohomish or King counties, and the number of homeless guys and gals there are. But seafarers have a different kind of poverty and hunger. They have poverty of the spirit and hunger of the soul. The kind of poverty and hunger that comes from being away from your family, your friends, and your home for 9 months to a year. The kind of poverty and hunger you get when you're with the only Chilean or the only Pole or the only South African in the ship with many Asians. The kind of poverty you get when you're only Buddhist or Muslim on a ship with Christians and Hindus. There's an isolation about that that's really difficult. So we go on board every single ship that comes to Seattle, and I hope starting this summer we'll go on every ship that comes in Everett. We take Wi-Fi and SIM cards and phone cards so they can communicate with their families. They want to call home, and they want to talk to their kids. Because they're gone for 9 months a year, every single day we work with a seafarer who has a child at home he's never met. Imagine that. One of the great privileges of my life is to sit with a young man and watch him Skype home and see his kid for the first time. One of the saddest moments every seafarer has is the day he goes home and he has small children. He's excited to see his kids. He hasn't seen them in 9 months, so he knows his 2 and 3-year-old kid are going to run away. They don't know him. And about 60 days later, when he goes back on the road, when they're friends again, he knows it's going to happen again. Imagine that. Imagine this in weddings and funerals and the first day of school and the last day of school. The other day I met a seafarer who was going to be at home for his 9-year-old's birthday for the first time. First time he ever saw him at home for his kid's birthday. That's a tough life. And when they get here, about a third can't get off the ship because they don't have visas, but 2/3 can. So they want to go shopping. They want to go downtown and do a little sightseeing. They want to get out and have some fun. As you can imagine, being at sea is not all that much fun. Especially when you have a work week that's, for 9 months, you work 7 hours a day, 7 hours a week, 7 days a week, 11 hours a day. or $1,500 to $3,000 a month. So the seafarers have a tough time when they get here. They want to go shopping. They want to look around. We took 8 guys from Myanmar. And you know Myanmar. It used to be Burma, one of the most repressive places in the world. We took them on their first trip to the west, to Costco. We walk in the door and dumbfounded doesn't even begin to describe the look on their faces. They've never seen meat in those quantities. They had no idea what golf balls were. They've never seen that many kinds of TVs. When we went by the patio furniture with a hole in the middle of it for a roll, which cost about as much as they make in a year. We had a little fun explaining to them about the furniture and explaining what a patio is. And then as I walked by the garden shop, I spent 15 minutes trying to explain why we sold dirt in a bag, but I gave up. And then as we're leaving, we go to the Costco on 4th Avenue, right down next to the West Seattle Bridge, the first Costco. And they see us coming, and they open a line just for us. So I'm walking down, I got these 8 guys behind me. The lady sees me, points to a line over there, opens up for us, and we go through. I show them my card, the guys all pay cash. And as we get through the line, one of the guys pulls on my shirt and says, "Big Ken, are you the governor?" And I laughed. We said, "No, seriously, we know there's stores like this in Costco. We have no idea where they are. We couldn't afford them, and they wouldn't let us in without the governor." So here we have seafarers who are coming to our country for the first time, and they're a stranger in a strange land. In their own country, they're a stranger in some places. So we get a chance to demonstrate God's loving welcome. Remember the part about love God, love your neighbor? Jesus died for that. So we ought to take it pretty seriously. And this is a chance for us to welcome our neighbor. Imagine we're the face of America, and the face of Seattle, and the face of the West, the face of Christianity, and the face of love. The other thing we provide for these seafarers is a ditty bag. So how many of you have knitted hats or provided stuff for our ditty bags? There are Christmas gifts that we give out every year. So imagine a shoe bag. It looks like a shoe bag with a drawstring, filled with months and months supplies of toiletries, toothpaste, razors, shampoo, shave cream, soap, candy, and a hand-knitted stocking cap. We gave out some the other day to the Ukrainian crew, and the guys burst into tears. They couldn't believe, and these are tough guys too, they couldn't believe that somebody would spend 6 or 8 hours knitting or crocheting a hat for someone they didn't know. How can you love me if you don't know me? Think about that. Think about the love and attention that seafarers get, because when they're away at Christmas time, we got a group coming in on the 13th of January. We're going to sea for 30 days. So they come home, come here, they get a Christmas gift. We got a little service on board the ship. We love them at Christmas. They were alone, and we love them at Christmas. That's what we're supposed to do. At least that's the way we feel about it. So when we're engaged in this, we feel like it's our opportunity to spread God's love and to be conscious of the needs of others. It's tough being on the road. I had a sailor named George who'd been at sea for 41 years from Blackpool. 41 years at sea. So it's his last day at sea. He's retiring, he's going home, he's leaving here, he's flying to Amsterdam and all to Latvia. So I take him to the airport, we stopped and had a beer. So I said, "George, what are you going to do?" And he said, "Well," he said, "I go to your centers now when I can, because I can Skype and talk to my grandchildren. I have 3 adult children, 41 years at sea. I was never home more than a couple of months. Some years I didn't get home at all. So I hardly know my 3 sons. But the Mission of Seafarers has centers all over the world. In fact, we have 250 of them. And so when he stops at a center like ours, and they're also Catholic and other centers, and we have ecumenical centers where we have partnerships. So I go to those centers, I Skype home and talk to my grandchildren. So I said, "What are you going to do now?" And he said, "Well, my wife and I are retiring." She was a teacher, bought a place at the beach, and we're going to spend the rest of our lives playing with our grandchildren. So how many of you have grandchildren? So I have my own version of the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto your grandchildren. Does that work? Yeah, I think we like that. I also have a condensed version of the Bible, Ken's condensed Bible. Old Testament, chapter 1, verse 1. Am I my brother's keeper? New Testament, chapter 1, verse 1. Yeah, give that some thought. We have seafarers who come on from all over the world, and the reason I think about the grandchildren part is I have adult children, at least their bodies are adults. and they are 35 to 28, and they travel abroad, they've been abroad, and I like to believe that if something happened to them, they needed to change money, they needed direction, they were in some form of trouble, that there would be somebody there who would reach out and help them. Somebody would touch them. And I think we all hope our children and grandchildren would find that kind of reception somewhere around the world, and we do that. And folks, it's a privilege. I got involved in this with the Ditty Bag program. In 1994, my wife and I were sitting in church with our 3 kids. Elizabeth was 11, James, John, and Andrew were 8, 5, and 3. And by the way, if you marry an angel and you're naming kids after saints, you have a good chance. So we're sitting in church, and Bishop Troy was making the same sort of presentation I'm making, except his was a big Korean accent. And he said, we're looking for somebody to organize the Ditty Bag program. So my wife elbowed me in the ribs and said, sweetheart, why don't you take the boys and go help them out? That's not a question. So I did as commanded. And we had about 15 people there. We had a potluck lunch, and we packed 150 or so Ditty bags. Last November, 20 years later, 24 years later, in 4 places, 202 people, including 50 kids, packed 3,000 Ditty bags. Wow. And so by the way, if you want to come down to one of our places to pack Ditty bags, and we did some at St. Aidan's this last year, you can come, but you have to bring a kid. It's a requirement. We want young people to get engaged with this too. So people ask me, why do we do this? Well, there's a wonderful parable in the Bible called the parable of the sheep and the goats, and it's written just for us. It goes like this. And Jesus says, I prepared a place at the right hand of the Father. For I was hungry and tired of ship's rations at $4 a day, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you bought me a soda, and you looked at pictures of my kids on Facebook, and you shared your life with me. I was a stranger from 162 lands, and you welcomed me like a neighbor. I was sick and homesick and bereft, and you came on board, and you prayed with me, and you made me smile. I was naked, and you gave me a ditty bag with a stocking cap, and a pair of gloves and a scarf, and you clothed me. And I was a prisoner 50 feet from shore, but I didn't have a visa, I couldn't get off the ship. And you came on board and bought Wi-Fi so I could Skype home and talk to my 2-year-old daughter. And the righteous would say, Jesus, when were you in such distress? When were you hungry or thirsty and we bought you something to eat or drink? When were you sick and homesick and alone and in prison and we visited you? When were you naked and we clothed you? And Jesus would say, that you do to these, the least of my seafarers, you do to me.